This video is going to be about learning the 5 scale shapes on the guitar and why you would want to do that. I'm assuming that you already know what we call the campfire chords, like C, A, G, E, and D. And you might know that there's a system for organizing the guitar neck called the CAGED system, and it comes from those 5 chords, C, A, G, E, D, which spells the word caged. So there are 5 scale shapes that relate to those chords. In a second I will show you a demo of me playing some music using these shapes, but first I want to talk about the CAGED system shapes. On my website, davesguitarplanet.com, if you go to the PDF section, there are several PDFs you can download, some on the 5 scale shapes and some just on the guitar neck. So there are 12 notes in Western music, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then it repeats. So basically we've got this much of the guitar neck to get under our fingers, and there are a couple systems for doing it, and the one I've used ever since I was a kid. I think I was around 14 when I learned it. Now I'm 55, so it's been a long time using this system. There are 5 shapes, and I didn't know it was called the CAGED system until a few years ago, to be honest. There's another system which are 3 notes per string, but I don't use that system. So the problem becomes, how do you take this neck and divide it up? I mean, your hand is only this big. So basically your hand can handle about 4 frets or sometimes 5 at a time. Like this is one of the shapes. That would be like the E shape, because it has this chord within it, which looks like the E chord. And there's a C shape that has what looks like a C chord inside of it. At davesguitarplanet.com, look under the PDF section. You can get this one, the 5 shapes, and it shows how to play each shape, starting with the C shape, and then the A shape, G shape, E shape, D shape. And it shows your finger numbers. So 1 is your first finger, 2, 3, and 4. There are a couple shapes where it's a 5 fret shape, so you have to shift up or down, but it's pretty clear here. And this shows where the 7 notes of the scale, the major scale, is the foundation for all of this, and the different shapes, and they overlap each other. So if you learn all 5 shapes, you learn the entire guitar neck. I'm going to play to 3 backing tracks. The first one is just using the major scale in the key of G to a little bit of an Eagles folk rock type of a backing track. And the next one is in a minor key, in A minor, using a minor scale, actually a Dorian scale, which is, but also using the 5 shapes there. And then the next one will be in the key of C dominant 7, using a dominant 7 scale. But it's also one of the 5 shapes. So these 5 shapes you can play in a major feeling, kind of happy and bright, or in a minor feeling, a little bit more moody or sad, some people think. And also in a dominant 7 feeling, which is sort of bluesy, funky. And you multiply these different tonalities or feelings times the 12 keys, and you've got a lot of music that you can make. Most of Western music is made with variations on the major scale, starting at different points, called the modes. I'm just improvising over these demonstration backing tracks, trying to keep it simple, which is a little bit hard for me because usually I'm playing licks and chord rhythmic things, but I'm just trying to demonstrate how you can use these different shapes. So learning the 5 shapes is really the easiest way to take your playing to the next level. So I hope you could hear some of the different kinds of musical feelings that you can create using the 5 shapes. Not only kind of major scale, happy, bright feelings, but more sad, minor feelings and funky, bluesy feelings. By the way, they're called shapes because within each shape, depending on which note you start on, which of the 7 notes, you get 7 different scales, which are called the modes, which we'll be looking at later. Some people call them patterns or forms. I call them shapes. So you can play on any part of the guitar neck after you learn these 5 shapes. And please take a look at the individual videos I have on the 5 shapes. It takes a little time and effort to learn them, but it really opens up the doors to so much more once you do learn them. And I'll try to make it fun by putting some backing tracks and some exercises to help you learn them. Thanks for watching.